You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White. With me, as always, is my co-host, Lacey Up and Lee.
Well, happy Monday.
I don't know where I was going with that jaunty tune. It just kind of came out of me. So
it's just where you
went
felt the groove going.
Mm-hmm.
In, you know.
I felt pretty good about it, so I went for it.
Nailed it.
So, I want to talk about some things. That happened this week.
Aww.
Because,
okay.
you know, it's funny that this is what it takes to get people thinking. And maybe it finally sunk in for a lot of people. But quickest part of this thing that I don't want to like graze over it for any other reason, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. But I had an aunt that passed away this week. And as bad as this may sound, for the best, for her. She's not suffering anymore. So I'll just leave it at that. But what's funny is that every time we have a funeral, one common sentiment that comes up amongst family members is like, we got to stop meeting like this. We got to have a real reunion. This is always a reunion. And it's like, well, then what are we going to do about it? You know? Everyone wants to get together. You see how much everyone misses each other and wants to hang out and see each other on a more joyous occasion. Mm-hmm. But what are we ever going to do about it?
Yeah.
And I think I just decided, because there seemed to be this assumption that one person was going to make it happen. You know, and it used to be my brother. My brother used to be the guy who used to gather the family together for reunions and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But, he's busy now. He's got his own kid now.
Sure, yeah.
New father, new responsibilities. He's kind of busy. He's got his own thing going. So I decided that I think I'm going to take on that responsibility, because I personally want to see my cousins again on that side. I say on that side because we have, you've got one side of the family and you got the other side of the family, your mom's side, your dad's side. I always was closer with my dad's side because we'd probably see them more often. Some of the cousins were a little bit more closer in age.
More local.
Yeah.
Or that too, yeah.
My mom's side, I don't want to badmouth anyone, but
I actually can understand that sentiment. I don't really.
There was just something about that side that I don't connect well with. I don't. Like there are certain. I loved my grandmother on my mom's side. Like she was one of those. Like I'd have done anything for her, and I wish I'd have done more for her when she was still with us. But, being young and stupid, not really appreciating what you got when it's there. But that side of the family, granted, we weren't around them as much as I was my father's side. But even still, it was just, they're trying to say it without being
challenging.
Yeah.
Just a different. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know where you're going with it. It's just more of a challenge, maybe.
There's just
ideas conflict a little bit more.
Not even that. It's just the kind of people they are. They just seem like garbage people.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. And I've got a few cousins that I feel like I had this one cousin. We're actually about the same age. We're actually in school together, high school together. I never see her. I don't remember the last time I ever saw her maybe at one funeral years ago, but it's almost like she saw it too. And she was like, I'm going to do everything in my power to divorce myself from this side of the family because I just don't want it in my life.
Sure. All right.
You know? And I get it.
Yeah.
You know, every time there was a funeral, it was just like, God, here's this group again, you know, and I don't want to be like that. And I hate to say it like this too, but my mom has lost all of her brothers and she's got 2 sisters left. And I really hope to God that the 2 sisters go before my mom. Because I don't want to have to deal with them at my mom's funeral. Because they're selfish, egotistical thieves. And I'm going to leave it there before I say anything else.
I feel like we probably all just went to someone in our family that we could probably relate to in that regard. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to deal with that. You know, I want my mom to outlive them. You know, she's the oldest, and by God, I want her to be the oldest by the time it's all done.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that. But my dad's side of the family, there are conflicting, you know, kind of this is probably more what you were implying just now, conflicting ideals amongst cousins or whatnot. But what was funny about it is, like, in those moments, I know I've had those conversations, at least with one of them, you know, that I was talking to there, where we've had those conflicting ideas. But yet, in that moment, in that room, we're sitting there standing side by side, chit-chatting about how much we miss the family gathering.
Well, it's how it should be, really.
Yes.
You know, agree to disagree and still just hang out and chat about the things we do have in common and pull on that thread and have fun.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing about it that just brought me so much joy and made me want to spend more time with him. It's like, because I know we've had those conversations. I know we've had those disagreements, but yet here we stand.
Here we are, yeah.
And we just have, you know, it's a love for one another that just, the hell with anything else that it could be. It's just what it is, you know. And I kept hearing from every cousin, I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss seeing you guys. So I want to do something about it. I want to make sure that we're not seeing each other again at a funeral.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think,
do it. It's a lot of work, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Well, I think
you'll get to have that memory.
Yeah, and I think what shook this up a little bit more is it's almost like it started crumbling the foundation of everything, because not to say that there haven't been deaths on that side of the family, but it always seemed to be like in-laws. From my perspective,
right?
Like it was
not blood necessarily married.
Yeah,
in.
like I know that 3 of the sisters of my dad's sisters, their husbands had passed. You know, and it's been you know, long stretches of time to just recently it's happened. But this is the first sibling out of 8. You know, to go.
For the while. Yeah.
So suddenly it's like, oh shit, it's getting really real. Because now that's 1 out of 8 who's next. And I don't want to think that. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. Well, in this moment, that's understandable. You're still in the middle of grieving process for one. So I feel like it's understandable right now. If you're still dwelling months from now, then maybe you might want to start talking to some people. But
right.
I think that's a healthy part of the grieving process at this moment. It's still new.
I don't know, but she was a wonderful person. She was always sweet and kind, and I've got nothing bad to say about her. In fact, even if I was to say anything that would be considered questionable, it's all in jest, because she used to be the biggest gossip I ever saw. But it was, again, I don't mean any disrespect by it. That was just part of who she was, and it was just because she
was probably super fun about it.
Like, oh yeah, because it was always like you know. Well, this is so-and-so. Like, she talked to you about someone's history. This is so-and-so, and they know the so-and-so, and they're actually related to that so-and-so and so-and-so and that.
Oh, well, that's actually helpful.
And then, now, you didn't hear this from me, but...
Oh, here we go,
and
the
then,
fun stuff.
then it comes the gossip. But she was always kind about it. It was never hateful of me. It was just like, yep. And that's what I loved about her. She was just...
Sorry
that was... That was kind of her personality. That's her defining trait, and it was never vicious, you know.
Right.
It was just like, well, This is what I know. And then, you didn't hear that from me kind of thing. And that's what I loved about it. It was just, it was beautiful. I don't
It's
know.
probably not that ever vicious, but she's like,
No,
this
no.
is, it's going to
Never.
sound scandalous. And it's just
Right.
Like, so they got remarried, and you're like, oh. Okay. Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going to miss her. I hate that I didn't get to see her. I think the last time I did see her was at a funeral, matter of fact. But that was on, funny enough, not funny, but you get the...
Right. Turn of phrase.
Katrina's family. Like, she had just lost her grandmother, and we saw my aunt at that funeral. So, anyway, I don't want to dwell on death for the entire show, because we got a lot of show. But I did want to vent about one little thing. What about, I know you probably didn't watch it yet, but I know a lot of people are pissed that Netflix canceled Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, now that I saw it's canceled, I'm like, I'm not even sure I want to bother at this point. Cause,
I'm like that too. I get it.
Yeah, because like I feel like I always get into stuff that gets canned super early and for no reason. So I feel like maybe I got saved by being a little too late to pull the trigger on watching it. Because wow, they gave it no time after release. Huh? I feel like within a week? If it was that long?
No, it's been a few
Was
weeks.
it?
It's been a few weeks.
Okay, I just felt like it was super quick.
It's
like
been
it
a few
hadn't
weeks.
been out that long. People were still discussing, you know?
I think it came out a little before or around Thanksgiving, so it's been at least a few weeks, but it's not been long either.
Not been long, yeah.
And usually, like you said, they kind of give it a moment to see how well it's going to do, or maybe it'll catch on. But I guess all the haters, see, this is why you can't have nice things. All these people want to sit there and bitch and complain about stuff, and this is what happens. So if you were one of those people bitching, but you wanted to see more, too late. You screwed.
Yeah.
You did this.
Who knows? I'd be interested to see, like, I guess their numbers, because I've always been a little intrigued by how they make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like even when you do the math for monthly subscriptions and how many they're open about, it's a lot of money, which still kind of blows my mind that you can manage it with that, because I mean you're not selling ads on Netflix. You know, I guess ad placement maybe a lot in your movies and stuff, like people are drinking a can of Coke or you know going to a restaurant or something, you know, that has a name. But yeah, that's always been intriguing to me. So I wonder like why it would be so quick that they would be able to go ahead and determine that it wouldn't be worth it moving forward, you know?
Especially when they were setting up what season 2 would be. And the one thing that I guess people were complaining about the most was the lack of a character that was in the anime. And my wife was most vocal about this.
Like, did they not put a character in or a portrayal of a character?
No. Well, there's a character in the show that comes in sometime. It's not like someone who was there from day one. Okay. So this is some character that eventually comes into play and it becomes a main part of the cast. There were no signs of this character in the trailer before it came out, and my wife, she was getting, oh, this character better be in there. Oh, this character better be in there. And I was like, well, if you're not seeing it, there's a reason they're holding off. Either the character's not going to be in the show right now, but I promise you, I guarantee you the character will be in the show at some point. Because if these people know the show or the show that this is based on and they're fans, they're not going to leave out a fan favorite character like that. It's just stupid.
You would hope. Yeah.
So essentially what they did is they did the entire show without that character, but final shot of the last episode setting up this character coming in. So
okay.
And I felt like that was cool because in that way you're allowing us to focus on these main characters right now, and then season 2 can be about this character and allow that character to have their own time to shine.
Right.
Without taking away from everybody else. So that was what it was going to be. But now people don't get it because you wanted to complain or not watch.
I'm sorry. That always sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always so upset when that happens to me, especially with a brand new show that I'm getting into, which is why I don't trust ABC anymore. I won't start a new show from them because they're the biggest culprits from doing it to me over the last several years. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with you, ABC. I will not watch a brand new show you put out because it'll be lovely and you'll just can it.
Yeah.
And I won't know why. And you won't give me closure because it'll totally be set up for another season.
Well, that was kind of like
that
Goldberg's spin-off, I think.
The Real O'Neills, I'm still very bitter about. That was ABC. I'm still looking at you. The Kids are all right. Fantastic. Hilarious group comedy. Screw you, ABC. You only gave that one season. Like, these were great shows with great cast. On Pushing Up Daisies was my first one, but okay, maybe the writer's strike, because that was a while ago. If you remember when that happened, maybe it fell victim to that. But that was another fantastic show, and I'm done with you, ABC.
I feel now. Don't hold me to this, but I may have to go do some digging. I'm almost positive I heard something about a revival for that. Pushing Daisies.
God, that would be amazing. Well, I mean, what's her name? Deschanel. Real cute, doe eyes.
Zoe
Zoe, thank you. Yes. I think it would be whether she was available, because I think it was like Kristen Chenoweth was in it too. Like there was some, bigger now. I don't know if they were then, because I know Kristen was more on the stage and stuff for the longest. Still does. But it was such a fun little concept, and it was so cute, and the leads were adorable. And they only gave it like one season, and then the second season they did wrap it up because I guess they knew it was coming to an end. But still, it was such a good show. They could have done more. It was great. Such a great concept.
Well,
but ABC's dumb. I will hold to that, because they will get fantastic ideas and then just abandon them.
Well, I mean, Fox is about as bad. I mean, they've canceled so many shows without giving them a moment to breathe.
It's true.
So
it's true.
Just, Speaking of which, you may know this story, but I guess I wasn't 100% aware of it. While on this same subject, I was found that the guys who do It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia are doing a podcast now, which...
Who isn't?
I know. Everybody's in the space now.
Everybody has a podcast.
Luckily, they're not very invasive episodes. They're like 30 minutes at most. So it's just like them... And they call it a rewatch podcast, but they're not really talking about episode. It's just them bullshitting around a table. That's the
so
three guys
to discuss the show, but that
and they do to a point. It's just not in the structured way that you see a lot of these others, which again I appreciate. It's in the vein of Sunny in that way, so I appreciate it. But anyway, it's Glenn, Charlie, and Rob, the guys who created the show.
Okay.
And they're just, again, sitting around a table BS. And they were talking about when It's Always Sunny hit the airwaves on FX. Apparently, no one watched it. Like the very first episode, the premiere, no one watched it. But what saved them is those who did watched it to completion. So apparently they noticed, like the network noticed the retention rate was like 100%. And they were like, okay, well, those who did... watched it.
Yeah, they didn't just watch like 20 minutes and turn away. Yeah.
So they said that the network noticed that, and they were like, all right, we're going to give you, a little bit more time. But that's why they had to bring in Danny DeVito. It was like, look, you got to bring in somebody. And they were like, no. Because they were very hesitant, because they were like, that's just going to throw off our dynamic, and it's not going to be the same. And they were worried that it would just change the show.
Sure.
But luckily, Danny was not that invasive.
He was an addition.
He was just like, all right, we're going to bring you in.
But here we are, 15 years later?
15
Jesus
years.
Christ. It's a long time.
But if you like listening to those guys, I'd go check out their podcast. Again, I shot through their first season, so like pretty quick, because it's 20, 30-minute episodes.
Right, not asking a lot of your time.
They breeze by. It's right into work every morning, give or take.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it.
For those of you who have to do that.
Yeah, those of us who have to leave our warm homes to step out into the...
I'm sure my day is coming. My luck can't stay this good for too terribly long. My track record is all I'm going off of. But
I hope...
I'll enjoy it while I can.
I hope you do. I hope you get to stay where you're at.
So far, so good. So good. But,
Yeah.
You never know.
So, what you been playing?
Ooh, okay. So, I went and tried Inscription.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about it was on the Game Awards and all this kind of stuff. So, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm definitely the audience for this with these card games, roguelike kind of combat system and all this. So, the story itself, if you want to give it a story. It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
The ambiance, I'll be honest with you, I had to turn it all off. It was obnoxious to me. I'm sorry. The constant flickering. Nope. Can't do that. It never stopped. And every time I would use my cursor to like hover over a card or just choose anything on the screen, this wom, 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 every single time. And I'm like, okay, we've got to turn that off now, because every time I do anything, you're going to make that noise. And I'm the type that can't have notifications on my phone, guys. Those little noises that just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it triggers in me, but I can't handle it, man. So once I turned off all of their ambiance, we proceeded. Okay. It was so funny that I had to struggle to turn everything off. So no game sounds, no nothing, so I could continue. And it's kind of hard. I enjoyed the story itself. Like, you get these cards, you're locked in some room, you know, playing this game with this entity. Now, it hasn't explained itself to me yet, you know, if you're listening going, it's blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's this entity that all you see is its eyes. And then when it changes character, it puts on a new wooden mask and this like really dark kind of creepy thing. So you're playing for your life. Okay. And as you're playing this card game, every time you win, there's a scale, like a tipping scale that's on the side, and you're pulling teeth, right? When you win, you get a tooth, and your whole thing, you want to weigh the other person's side down before yours gets weighed down, right? And eventually you'll get other totems and special cards and things like that that you can play and build your deck with. But when you get up and play the boss, you know, whichever mask the entity puts on at that time, like if I died, I had to do the whole freaking thing again. Like the whole little walk up, and I'm like, okay, fine. So I'll start it again. And I love the card aspect of it. Mm-hmm. I'm having a really hard time like finishing it up. But I've heard that the next act takes like a huge turn. It's almost a different game. This is what I've read. Okay. Obviously, I've not managed to get that far yet. Because I was trying to figure it out. I mean, it is interesting, but it's one you'll have to really dedicate time, I think, to know well. Because even the rule book they give you in the game is super long for all of the different symbols that could be a special if it shows up on your card to explain to you what that special could do, or how you stack cards, or you have to sacrifice cards in this case to be able to play a better card, you know. So... And then there's one that I think you're supposed to keep the whole time, that he's the story giver, this little like fox or dog or something, or he gets pulled out of the deck and he'd be like, oh great, it's me again. All right, well, let me try to give you some hints. And then, you know, entity will be like, shut up, you know, so whatever situation we're stuck in here. So I met on it for having it be so, I guess for it catching as much steam as it did leading up to the Game Awards. Yeah. I'll have to go back and try again, because I feel like once I could possibly get past that first one, I want to see, without spoiling it for myself, obviously I could have read on, but I didn't. I want to see how much of a change that next act or chapter, or however you're treating it, takes. Sure. Is that the one I'll enjoy more, or I don't know. But so I gave it a shot. I'm willing to give it another shot. I'm kind of lukewarm on it at this time.
Okay.
And I did get to try Back 4 Blood yesterday. Finally, like, 2 people could play a game with me. Okay. That's usually my problem with multiplayer games. Like, we're all adults. I don't know people who are free at the same exact time.
Right.
But, so 2 people got to play Back 4 Blood, and it's got no chill. There's just no chill. I don't know if it's a balancing thing, if that's what people were talking about, but as soon as they start coming, you'll have, like, 5 special monsters all at the same time. You're like, but one's a boss that's got a huge... like, this isn't fair. I don't even know where I'm going. And they actually have, like, a card system in that now, too. I don't know, saying now, too. I was, of course, comparing it to Left 4 Dead, you know. A little bit more, I guess, in-depth detail to how you'd want to build your deck, or how supportive or leader character or operative character or medic character that you could lean into. I didn't play it for long enough to really get that deep into it. I think we played for like 2 or 3 hours. I think getting past the first act, that's it. Which had like 4 or 5 levels. But yeah, it's kind of like exactly Left 4 Dead, although I feel like less chill. I feel like even with Left 4 Dead, you'd get to a point where it would calm on you for a minute. Nope. This one's just whatever it feels like doing at that time. So some times we would feel like we rocked it, we got through it. And the other ones would be like, we just did this though. And we'd get so rammed up, just bend over. All right. There's nothing I can do. I have only so much stuff on me. And you don't get to heal at your save spots. So I guess to maybe add more level of difficulty, but I was like, really, can we not heal here in between zones even? But
right.
I guess I just got to get good, as the kids say. I don't know. And then I also tried the Matrix thing, but I figured we could save that for when we talk more about the Game Awards.
Yeah, I did want to play that too.
You should have.
I didn't, but I will.
You will.
I did download it. I just
okay.
I
did it last night because I wanted to make sure I got a little bit of it in before we got to chat today. But yeah, what have you been playing?
Well, not The Matrix Awakens because I wanted to do that. I got nothing really.
You had a long week.
I know. I did have a long week.
There was other stuff going on. You can forgive yourself. It's okay.
I did, just because I don't know. I guess I didn't want to get into anything. So, but I just had a little free time. I went back to Lego Batman 3 because it's the one Lego game that I've not beat to completion.
Okay.
And I've been trying to figure out why, and I think it was just they made it too big. If that means anything, because the one thing I like about them is they're open world, or most of them that I've played so far are kind of this open world, and then they have those little levels where you can, it's more structured. But this was like, hey, how many worlds can we cram into one game? So you have this planet, and then you have this planet, and you can go to this planet, but then you got this hub, and then you can go to that hub too, and then there's this other one, and then we have all these other inter-levels that you can play, and that's the main story of the game, but you have all these hub levels, and it was like, my God, there's just so much. Why is there so much? Yeah. So I think that's why I turned it off initially, because it's just so big. Like, again, I enjoy a big game, but damn.
You gotta be ready for it, I think.
It's planets in sections. I don't know where anything's at. Like,
Is it just that it's too long, and so you load
it's just
in
so
and you're
big.
like, Oh,
no,
okay.
It's not even really like in the sense that it takes forever to. It's just I don't know where to go. I'm lost half the time. Like in say the Lego Marvel superheroes. Okay, one of my all-time favorites that they did. If you're in New York, you can shoot straight up with Iron Man or whoever's flying. Shoot straight up, and you'll find a shield helicarrier. You hop into that helicarrier, and you have a hub for looking up your red bricks or changing characters or creating your own characters. All this stuff within the helicarrier. I know where it's at.
Okay.
Here you have your Bat Cave, but then you can go to the Hall of Justice. Then you've got a moon base, and then you've got all these different things. It's like I don't know where anything's at because you have so many places that I can traverse for hubs, but yet there's not one central location in which I can just focus in on something. And there probably is, but there's so many places.
Right.
So,
well,
essentially what I did is I just decided I'll play this and dink around and maybe collect some of those things that I've been, characters, so many characters. I don't know where they're all at, but I got them looking, Jesus.
You can do it.
And the red bricks, the gold bricks, it's just, there's just so much. And again, I've never had a problem.
Game.
I've never had a problem with these games like that. But it's when I know where to find them, and when it's just scattered about like this, it's so frustrating. So, I don't know. Again, I wasn't playing it for any particular reason other than I just wanted to kill some time.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly get some, ground covered. I'll get this platinum eventually because it's not a hard one. That's what's disappointing about it. I get these platinums on these Lego games because they're easy, and this one was just a slog.
Maybe that was intentional. They're like, everyone says it's so easy to get all of our platinums, eh? Well, here we go.
They made it just
arduous.
Yes.
Ugh, yeah.
And I keep looking at all the trophies that I have left, and it's very simple stuff. I just have to find, like, one particular that they do often is they'll have two characters. So you have one character and another character on the screen together, and it's like, you got a trophy because you had these two characters together. Cool. But I got to find the characters first. And there's just so many places.
No hints?
Well, if you go to select the world in which this character may be, it will say, it'll have everything broken down in acts. So Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And within those acts, you can figure out that, yes, within that frame, that's where it'll be. You just got to find it.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention.
I would nope out of that. If it's just like looking for stuff and all that, I'm like, nah, I'll lose interest pretty quick.
Well, I mean, that's why I try to find the red bricks that kind of point arrows, because if at least I know whereabouts to find it, then I can be like, okay, well, then I'll just come back here. And when you're pointing an arrow near the thing that I'm looking for, I'll figure it out then. Hey, caramba. Anyway, hey, tell us what little news we have before we get into the big beefy stuff.
I know. I'll admit, siblings, I didn't go too deep into much else because we got our work cut out for us on the Game Awards. Because I'll say, took them 3 hours to get through it. So we got a lot. There was a lot of good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it this year. But first little, I guess we'll just say some quick hits that we might discuss a little bit then and move on to our, big part of the show. But Nick Offerman, I don't know if you saw this, was cast in HBO's The Last of Us as a last-minute addition. It was reported that he is replacing Con O'Neill, who apparently had to drop out just because of a scheduling conflict. So when I looked up Con O'Neill's IMDb, there's like 3 things in pre-production, 1 filming. Dude's busy. So I'm not sure how, it all got agreed to in the first place. But Offerman will be playing Bill. So taking over for the character of Bill, who is, I think, the one that they come across on their journey, the dad character-ish.
Was he the dad? I thought he was the weird, creepy one that
works so well.
that he. Remember when Joel was he shot in the first game, and then
yes,
they had to hide out somewhere for a while. And then Ellie came across.
The survivalist holed up in a deserted town that Joel and Ellie cross paths with him when they're on the hunt for a working vehicle. So it sounds like he was.
Okay. Yeah.
I had to look at the picture of him for it to make sense for me too in my head, because you know me and names. But I think once you see the character in game,
he was the guy who had all the traps set up. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking at his face in the game. Mm-hmm.
I think when I'd seen the picture of Bill initially, I thought about the weird guy who tried to capture Ellie or whatever.
Pictures side by side. I mean, honestly, it was looks wise, great casting. If you're trying to get to the game material, but hey, we'll see. Yeah. I know he's most known for Ron Swanson. But I've always found that really amazing comedians are the best dramatic actors, because comedy is what's really hard if we're being real. So let's see. I think that'll be fun. I guess they're probably going to ram through all of his stuff here soon. We're pretty much done, I think, or like while they were filming.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Would you think, and this is a question I've heard posed a lot on a podcast I listen to, would you think or believe that Gilbert Gottfried could do drama?
Yes.
Do you think he could pull it off?
I think he could. I mean, now granted, his comedy is not, I'm not the audience for it.
Right.
But honestly, I do. Drama's kind of an easier form, in my opinion, to portray.
Well, they've asked several actors, like, I I think Alan Arkin was one of them that I remember really kind of pushing, saying that he thinks he would do good. Even suggested that he could be Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman. Like, that would be a role for him.
Well, why not? Because I still think his whole shtick is a character. I don't think he really talks like that. Like IRL with a regular conversation with a human being.
No, I mean, on his podcast, he's not...
Is not true. Yeah.
Like that. No, he's fairly... He keeps his voice to a... It's not
constantly doing stuff like that for you.
Yeah,
I'm not.
He's not shouting into the mic the entire time. He's kind of slow. I say soft spoken, but kind of slow.
Like a normal
enunciating,
person having a conversation.
Because it'd be
not
like
trying to put on an act.
Yeah, I think that this guy is doing this thing in a movie, and that's what I like.
So that kind of cadence. Okay.
Yeah. Something to that effect. Anyway, continue.
But yes, I believe if you think they're a really great comedic actor, I think they would be an amazing dramatic actor. Personally. And of course, just a little Activision Blizzard update. Because there was a little bit of new stuff that came out this last week. I don't even know if there's a nice way to put this. Activision Blizzard employees, as you know, have been striking. That Raven Software had laid off a ton of employees, QA, and the story is just so gross about how a lot of them had moved up into that area with the promise of better things and some raises and more work, just to be sent into meetings to find out a lot of them were getting laid off. And QA, it's just one of those parts that are integral to the machine, but upon my reading over the years, the most pooped on in the industry. So, like, it's like we catch all your stuff, but they're the ones that seem to be getting the short end of the stick most of the time. But anyway, as with all of this going on, Activision and Blizzard employees got an email from Brian Bulato, who's an executive over there at Activision Blizzard, explaining that they as a company have really come together, okay, and they've made changes. And that, who am I kidding? It was a union busting email. So it was very kind, of course.
Sure.
And since you can't exactly by law say, hey, don't do this, they just wanted to remind you how legally binding it is when you sign that card, and your direct line of communication to us will now be gone because everything's just going to have to be a barter through your union. And are you sure? You know, in the typical way that they would do it. So, I mean, there's like not even any way to end these things anymore because it's just so ongoing. So, a better ABK, though, did put out a strike fund if you're interested in trying as a non-employee to support their strike. As they're trying to at least keep those who are losing their job or that, you know, are striking to try to make it a better place can hopefully still make ends meet while all of this is going on. Because definitely look up, you know, your rights as far as striking goes. And they did lay it out, you know, like, hey, if you're doing it intermittent, this could screw you over. If you do it like this, you just got to stay gone. So, if you wanted to go to, I just want to make sure I'm saying their handle right, at a better ABK. You can follow them, and they have other ways on there that you could just show a support as a fan or as a gamer, and not necessarily an employee. So best wishes to them. And they did lay out in this fundraiser, like, should I call it a fundraiser? I don't know. Like it's
I see, yeah.
It's that line. I'm not really sure. Like, yes, we are raising funds, but anyway, they called out every single board of director that they found unfit for leadership. So looks like they're striking in the hopes to get rid of Rivetta Bowers, Robert Corti, Hendrik Hartog III, Brian Kelly, Bobby Kotick, Barry Meyer, Robert Morgado, Peter Nolan, Don Ostroff, and Casey Wasserman. So let's get those ones gone so we can have a better Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
I stand with them. So that's the
Hashtag
only
burn it
update I
down.
saw. What's that? I'm sorry.
I said hashtag burn it down.
Burn it down. I mean, just have to at this point, start them all over. Let's see. Other one, just because for interesting conversation, you had brought my attention to this. That there had been a couple of disgruntled tweets going out about the Uncharted Legacy upgrade from PS4 to PS5, right? So it seems to be story TLDR is pretty easy. A lot of the people, or all of the people, I should say, that have the PS5 digital version, not able to get the PS5 upgrade. Mostly because you don't have the disc, I'm assuming in this case. Like a lot of them, you put in your disc from the game that you already own, you get the free upgrade. So there's a lot of disgruntled PS5 digital owners that are finding out that these free upgrades will not apply to them because they have no physical copy of anything. And so you and I were kind of starting to discuss it the other day because my knee-jerk reaction was, well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
They have a PS5 and there should be some sort of way we could give them a code or something to give them an upgrade. But you had some good points as to why I was probably assuming that was too easy. But what are your thoughts for these? I mean, it's looking like if you have the digital, a lot of these upgrades are not going to come your way. You're going to have to, I guess, rebuy it.
I mean, the way I would look at it, and perhaps these, the game companies may want to start thinking about it this way, because I don't see what it would hurt being done like this. Why not treat video games in the same fashion that we treat movie releases now? When you buy a 4K or a Blu-ray, you get the movie, you get physical copy, and then most of the time they'll give you a digital code to go with it. So you've got a digital copy and you've got a physical copy. And I don't really see the harm in giving up a digital copy for something you physically own, because for me, having a disc, sure, I've got it physically, but they don't know that I own it. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
they
with
they
the
look at
disc,
it.
Once you put it in, I think, doesn't it?
Not necessarily. I mean, granted, you can still go through the process of upgrades and DLC and whatnot, but that doesn't mean anything. You still need that physical disc. But if you own it,
like that's your code.
Right.
When you're putting the disc in, it does check that for a brief second. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then we're on
So
our way.
the digital code would at least put it in your library. And I mean, what would be the difference?
Sure. Yeah. Because you're just even those of us with the physical disc at this time is still just downloading the upgraded version. There's no hard copies.
Yeah.
Specifically for PS5 in some of these cases right now.
So, I mean, I get the frustration, because having a physical copy, this is one of the main reasons I didn't go digital, because I even thought about it. I thought, well, I usually buy digital. There's hardly a physical copy game that I own anymore. Like, I've got a small little subset because 9 times out of 10, it's easier. It's so much easier just to buy it digital, download it, boom, done. So I get the frustration, but I also borrow games every now and again from Todd, because he's generous enough to hand them over and say, hey, do you want to play this? I don't have to buy it. So I take his physical copy, but I don't own it. So they have no way to prove that I don't own that.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I get where they're coming from. I understand the frustration, but I get where they're coming from too.
Having that was my knee-jerk reaction, because I would have been the same way. Like, wait, because like some of them, and I know that this still isn't Sony's fault, kind of. I don't know. However you want to throw the blame about how scalpers are just managing to, whatever, that's a different conversation. But like in some of these cases, they were explaining the only option I had for me was to buy the digital version, because it's been so hard to find a PlayStation 5 that you just bought whatever was available, which I guess could be our own downfall for just having no chill, no patience, and just buying a thing because we want it. But
I had chill. I wasn't. I wanted a PlayStation 5, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice the disc drive. So if I couldn't get the one with the disc drive,
same way. But it was for a different reason. I'm still old school where I enjoy having my physical copies and kind of want to hang on to that as long as possible because I see it's going to fade away into nothing here, maybe the next 10 years or so. There might be still some of those fun buy early, you get an actual physical copy, like as a pre-order thing. But yeah, so I mean, I see your point, and yeah, I don't know how they could get around this because it is, heck, even just having that code, like you said, maybe somebody could just give away their digital code, keep the physical one, so that could be dishonest unless there's some way that they could link those two as one single entity. Like with Steam. Like I logged into my account on a different PC, so now I am allowed to download that game, but I have to be on that account on that PC. You know what I mean? And
I think you could do that with a digital code like that because then it transfers ownership. So whatever that code is, it's locked to your account. It is your game. And they can prove that at that point because now it's seen in, like a digital space. They know that you own that. And it could be a very specific code for that very reason. So,
like only came with this physical copy.
Yeah. So this is linked to that barcode or proof of purchase or whatever it may be. I don't know. It might be a little bit more complicated than I'm making it out to be, but I think that's really what it boils down to is you have nothing to, attach it to.
But don't you think even if they're buying it on the PlayStation Store directly off the console, wouldn't that link to their account? Wouldn't they have that receipt of purchase? I always get an email even when I'm redeeming a free game.
Well, yeah.
So I feel like if it's in your library, PlayStation at that point does have a proof of purchase. They have to, or else why would they keep selling digital goods? So then why wouldn't you be able to get an upgrade from that, Like you could, they see in their system you purchased it, you downloaded, so it should apply to that digital copy.
Yeah, to that digital copy, but he's talking physical. I mean, that's where it gets complicated.
Yeah, right.
Plus, I mean, if you had a digital PlayStation, but you had a disc, you're not going to be playing it on there anyway.
That's true.
So,
unless I read somebody was trying to hook up some like USB drive or something. I'd be interested to see how that would work out.
No.
I need to go back to that and see how the experiment went. But I mean, if they want to tear apart their PlayStation for some experiment like that, I mean, I guess by all means, I'm here to watch.
Yeah. Knock yourself out.
I'll learn from your mistake or success. We'll see. So yeah, let us know, siblings. What do you think? Because I feel like PlayStation has to be thinking about it if they're not already. Because I do agree that you're kind of getting screwed over. Granted, yeah, you paid $100 less for the console, but if you're having to pay $70 new for all of your games, you're kind of out way more than saving that money on the digital console in the first place. I don't know. Let us know what you think, siblings. Do you think that should be a given? Do you think they should be finding out a way to give the digital console owners their free upgrade? Or is it, I have to go through their TOS. I want to see if it's explicitly laid out. It probably is in the 10,000 pages that none of us read and have to just skip through because we're never gonna. But anyway, moving on just to one other last quicket, just so we can pay our respects. Masayuki Uemura, I hope I said that right. Creator of the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo, passed away. Passed away on December 6th. Was 78. So lived a nice long life, but also part of if anyone remembers the Famicom, which was the system that would become the Nintendo in the West. Also behind that, and also for a lot of the range of location-based light gun games. So very integral into Nintendo, and condolences to the family, and thank you for all your contributions to our gaming. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, we're talking two important consoles.
Right there. Yeah. So heart goes out, and thank you. But I think it's time to talk about some Game Awards, man, because we're already going long, and there's some beefy stuff.
Yeah, so we will try to keep it within our usual time frame.
I will keep an eye on that, because we already go so long.
But and we didn't BS that much either.
Nope.
But what I want to do is I pretty much laid this out based on how it came to be presented. So, or at least presented to me. So I'm just gonna go down the list, trailers. That's pretty much what we're going to be talking about. We might go into great conversations about each trailer, or it might just be a dismissive, like, I don't care, and we'll move on. But
I was thinking at least for sure, like, the new announcement.
Yeah. So we'll touch on things as we go along, and if I feel like something's not worth bringing up and we're running long or whatever, we'll move on. So if I don't talk about something you saw, I apologize, or you wanted us to talk about.
Let us know in a tweet.
Yeah, that's right. At Superman Crash. You know how this works. Hashtag Superman Crash.
Superman Crash. Why didn't you talk about this game? And then tell us why it was amazing and why we should have.
And also, if you have one of those questions that you just
we
have to
thrown them out there.
No. If you've got a question that you need answered and you don't know who to turn to, hashtag Ask Dava at Superman Crash. Come on. You know how this works.
Or you can join our Discord.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so we're going to go through all these, and then once we get to the bottom, then we're going to look back on our guesses for the winners. Yes. So I'll say who the winner is, and then you can tell us how bad we did in guessing said winner. So
in the categories that we guessed on. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. So first things first, the first trailer that I have listed down was for Tunic, which is coming out March 16th. This is a little fox wearing like a Legend of Zelda tunic or whatever. Mm-hmm. We saw this at PAX East the last time we were there in 2019. I know we saw this. I thought the game was out already.
Oh, I could believe you. I can't remember every game we came across in PAX, but yeah.
But this kind of had Zelda vibes because, again, he was wearing like a green tunic and whatnot. And he's a little fox and he had a little sword and whatnot. So
and it kind of like the art style kind of made it feel like that open world-ish kind of too in that art style.
Mm-hmm. So March 16th, if you're looking forward to that, I would like to play it, but I think it's only I think it's an Xbox exclusive or PC exclusive.
Yeah, Windows, Xbox One, and Series X.
Yeah. So maybe I might have to hang on to that Game Pass if I really want to do it.
Man,
I
understand. Well,
we'll see.
Now PC Game Pass. I know.
Or,
nice little segue there for their little announcement, at least.
Yeah, I mean, while I'm doing that,
we're gonna call it something that makes sense. PC Game Pass instead of Game Pass for PC.
Right.
Thank you, Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky and Gata. And Gata.
Yep.
I like Gata. Anyway, Game Pass, and we didn't even talk about that because I guess it's not really been announced officially, but Sony's little Game Pass thing that they're doing, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I think we briefly touched on it the week before with their streaming breakdown for PlayStation Now and all that being kind of
that's right.
into
that's
one
right.
thing. So I didn't look for any updates on that, but I don't think they were pushing till next year anyway to have that live.
That's true. Anyway, neither here nor there. Thirst Suitor.
I hate myself, but I want to play it.
This is from Annapurna.
Thirsty Suitors.
Annapurna. We've talked about how great of a publisher they are. I don't know about you. Now, granted, this seemed to be like a dating sim with like steeped into Indian culture, that's the vibe I got overall. Yeah. But I also got like Scott Pilgrim vibes. Like the evil exes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
It's like you kind of, the way they made it sound like you've just kind of left this wake of heartbroken, I guess just men in this case is what it seemed like. It looked like like she's dating all these men, and then just having these conflicts along the way, like you're battling. I sighed most of the time. Went really, and then when it was over, I'm like, I'm gonna play that.
I wondered if this would be up your alley because when I was looking at it, I was like, I bet you Lace would play this.
It looks so ridiculous and silly. That's why I'm like, yes.
Like Boyfriend Dungeon and stuff like that.
Like Boyfriend Dungeon, yes.
It seemed like your cup of tea.
The fighting, the cooking. Like, I'm here for it, guys. I'm here for it.
Thirst Suitor. I didn't get a date on that.
Suitors. I didn't see one on that either. I've actually got one of the pages open now just in case, but I don't see a date on it yet.
Okay, well, whenever it does, we'll come back around to it. Lisa will be telling us all about it when she plays it.
I'm sure I will.
March 3rd, we'll bring along Babylon's Fall from Square Enix and Platinum Games. I like Platinum Games. I got no beef with Square, but the game,
Yeah, I don't know about that one for me either.
It's just,
you know.
it's one of those games, and I'm going to be saying this a lot because I started complaining about it the longer the Game Awards went on. The same aesthetics, the same looks. These games are interchangeable sometimes when you look and be like, oh, it's another one of these where it's,
like
darkness
one of them
falls,
I was like,
blah.
is this the new Dragon Age?
Yeah,
thinking that of like, that kind of looks like but that can't be right, you know?
You know, the hell
Some
with
of the
it.
styles are starting to blend. Yeah.
So if you were looking forward to Babylon's Fall, good for you. I'm not. Telltale's coming back apparently. The Expanse.
A couple of them actually.
Yeah,
The
that's
Expanse
one of them.
was one. Yeah, and I've not seen the show. I feel like it probably doesn't matter. But
I don't. I know nothing about it, so I've got no.
But it is age restricted on the YouTube, so that means we got maybe some adult language at least being used in it.
What, you can't say adult things on YouTube anymore?
I
Get
don't know.
the fuck
They
outta
give
here.
you the warning, I think, is what it is, and then you know you pretend like you are 13 and watch anyway. That's how it works.
Anyway, who cares? Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak DLC summer 2022. If you were playing that, I haven't played Monster Hunter Rise.
Your wife might be excited.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was actually looking at it and she's like, "I thought this came out already." I was like, "No." I said, "They're still." I know they've been advertising it, but
yeah.
I said, this is like big DLC. This isn't like characters or Mega Man.
Like more content.
Yeah, whatever they put in there last. What did they put in there last? It was some...
It's like weapons and stuff, wasn't it?
No, there was like a character. It was like a very specific Sonic or something, wasn't it? Or was that... That might have been long before. I don't know.
Yeah, I never...
Doesn't matter.
I Googled wrong anyway.
Doesn't matter.
I think I remember what you're talking about, though. Their little crossover.
Yeah. The next thing was something unexpected for me, and I'm excited. Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Gun Media.
I thought of you instantly when I saw the trailer. There was a lot of horror this year. I thought. Yeah. But yeah.
It
Texas
seems to
Chainsaw.
be one of the, was it massive multiplayer or what? Not massive multiplayer.
It kind of gave me like a DVD vibe, I guess, where it felt like somebody would get to play, you know, the killer, and then you have the survivors is kind of, but I mean, we didn't get a lot, right?
No.
It was a cinematic trailer, I think.
I mean, for what I saw, I'm down with that, but at the same time, I don't want it to be just like, hey, we're doing Friday the 13th, but with Leatherface, you know.
Sure.
What can you do to make it different?
I mean, it is Gun, right? Or no?
Yeah. Gun's producing it. I don't know if they've got someone else, because I didn't see Ilphonic's name, and they were the ones who were kind of helping with Friday the 13th.
They were the ones dealing with Friday the 13th.
So I don't know who
Gun's the publisher.
Right. I don't know who their developer is under this, but the fact that they're involved, great.
I mean, yeah, I feel like they were very involved with Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was a great concept. Just fell, you know,
fell prey
unfortunately, on
to
hard times with
copyright
other things that had nothing to do with the game.
Mm-hmm.
But just legal issues with the name and everything. But yeah. Well, we'll see about that when a little bit more comes out. But I'm terrified. Someone's gonna have to play that for me so I can see it.
I mean, I'm all for it.
I have a few of those that I already told the Hubs he has to play for me so I can see it.
I mean, I'm a huge Texas Chainsaw fan. It's one of those franchises that I feel like doesn't get a lot of love because it's got people who don't understand it. You know, that's the problem I have, because there's two good movies, one semi-good movie, two okay remakes, and then everything else is just like they don't understand the character. They don't understand the idea behind Leatherface.
To make it gore porn, basically.
And then, there's a movie coming out on Netflix. Texas Chainsaw sequel. Come on,
Oh,
man.
is there?
Yes.
How did I miss that?
I don't.
Maybe on purpose. Maybe I did see it, went meh, and moved on.
Because
I know this story already.
It's supposed to be a sequel to the original, so we're talking
To the original, like the 70s.
Yeah,
one,
like
or?
so essentially they're doing Halloween. Like, so Leatherface is going to be
or whatever it was.
60 or 70 years old or something like that now.
Would he even be alive? Yeah, how old was he in the 70s? Like 30s?
We'll be generous and say he's in his early 20s. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm being very generous.
That's
but
true.
Still.
Oh, that would be if you did kind of like
70-year-old. Come
in
here.
the home. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kind of like Bubba Hotep, but
it doesn't make any sense. I think the biggest problem is that everybody thinks that they've got a hinge on that. Oh. But it's not a hard concept. And I don't understand why they don't, like anyone who's made a sequel or tried to do remakes or stuff like that, why they don't get it or they try to overcomplicate it. Mm-hmm. It's not hard. It's not complicated. But we want to make it complicated. I don't know. I'm getting mad.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I trust Gun, and I'm sure they've chosen a lovely developing team.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. This next one seemed interesting, but it just depends on the kind of game it is. It's called Have a Nice Death. And I love the art style. It looked like a platformer, but I'm kind of wondering if it won't be Hollow Knight-esque.
It did give me that feel, like just the art kind of, and obviously how it played. Looks brutal.
Yeah, see, that's where you lose me.
Platformers can be that way. So, I'm the type, I can get into platformers for a little bit. If it starts to get to the point where it's just way too brutal, and all I'm doing is dying and getting frustrated, I have to set it down. But I can get into some.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying
I liked Hollow Knight. I never finished it 100. I did, just your regular run. I didn't go for extra bosses and stuff. So probably not the good ending or whatever. No, but, yeah.
Platformers are fun, and I don't mind the challenge, but there's a difference. There's a difference between fun challenge and I'm just trying to aggravate you challenge.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
And that's what some of these are anymore. It's just let's just make it as hard as fucking possible so that you get so angry you're going to break your controller. I know, you just want a challenge, don't you? Like Cuphead.
Right?
What the hell?
Well, we got a date.
Yeah. I mean, while we're talking about Cuphead, we'll go talk about Cuphead. June 30th for a new DLC. I honestly thought they were going to announce a new game.
I did too.
Matter of fact. But
if I'm honest, I thought there was and there might still be, but I thought there was a whole other one coming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, this is a DLC. New character, Madame Chalice, I think I heard correctly.
Yeah, she's cute.
The delicious last course on DLC Island. Come on, Cuphead. Come on, Mugman. Madame Chalice.
It was so fun having the orchestra and everything there for that, too. Because their music is fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's happening for June 30th, if you're into that. Wonder Woman was announced. We didn't really get to see anything beyond an announcement.
Nothing.
I don't know
just,
what...
hey, we're doing something.
I don't know what I expect with this game, you know?
Well, I mean, it's WB, so I kind of expect it to work like their other superhero video games.
You think it'll be kind of an open world-esque?
Kind of. I mean, I just honestly, obviously, this is all speculation, right? Because we got one very tiny cinematic trailer that showed us nothing, right? Except that, hey, Wonder Woman, hot chick, got it. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it might play like the Arkham games or something to that effect because it's not a bad engine.
No.
You know, and the combat always felt pretty good. I felt in those games. I mean, hopefully they'll break something off a little bit and make it a more unique.
Yeah.
But I think if it's what I'm thinking it might be in my head, it could be a lot of fun. I think it just depends on how they handle the character.
Sure. I'll wait until I have more than just an announcement.
I feel like I have to wait for gameplay these days because we get deceived so easy.
I want it to be amazing. I'd love to see something kind of in the vein of, not specifically, but considering the character she is, her background and stuff like that, I can kind of see them leaning into Greek gods and stuff like that. So maybe
Possibly.
go.
Or are they going to rip for movies?
Well, I was thinking they could lean into like a God of War type combat system or vibe or something like that. Could be fun. I don't know.
That would be super interesting, actually, especially like with her lasso and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Ooh, I'm curious now. Yeah.
So we'll see. While we're talking about...
don't they have Middle Earth too? They'd have that. Aren't they the ones who like captured that combat system and like aren't going to let anyone else play ball?
Yeah, that's true.
If it's going to be something like that, maybe.
Anyway.
Where they're growing AI.
While we're talking about strong women, Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga.
My God, I'm so in love with this game. I want it now. Oh, that trailer was so great.
It made me want to, because I've not played the game. I have it.
Oh my God, you've got to play it.
I have it. And I've not done it because it's right here on my PC.
And if it makes you feel better, it's not even that terribly long. I think you can do the entire story. If you play it consistently, like 8-10 hours, it's not super long. It's great.
I have to put myself... I wish there was just a better way for me to get...
I've told you how, and you refuse to take my advice. So you know what? Sit in it.
What are you talking about? I
have told you can use your controller and you can use an HDMI cord, plug it into your freaking TV, and done. Now you're like playing a console. But you won't listen to me.
Do I have an HDMI? I gotta have.
You better have one. It's such a new PC. I can't imagine you wouldn't have that or a display port or something. Maybe it's a display port, which is actually better than HDMI anyway.
Well, if I have that, because I tried doing screen share.
Yeah, you can use your regular controller.
Well, I did like a screen share thing, and there was a lag. So you talk about throwing me off.
No. Like use your actual laptop.
Right. No.
And
I
just use your TV as the monitor. Yeah, so there shouldn't be... That's why I was saying display is actually better, because that is a little faster than HDMI, because I have 2 monitors and my DisplayPort monitor always loads up first.
There is one back there.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, well,
try it out like that. You might enjoy it that way, because your controller should just work.
I mean, I want to play the games that I have. I just...
Do you have an Xbox or a Windows controller at all? I mean, the PlayStation 1 always worked on my PC. Dude, you're set. You're totally set. Yeah.
I'm ready.
There you go. Get comfortable in one of the rooms with the TV.
I'll tell you what. As soon as we're done here, I'll try it out and see how it works.
Yeah.
And if it can work right, then great. If not, then I guess I'm SOL. But anyway, continue.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
You just have to look on a small screen. But
I got to continue. But yes, I need to play Hellblade so I can play that one, because it did look amazing, and I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, I don't want to ask.
So ready for this game.
I don't want to ask. I'll figure it out when it get there.
Yeah.
Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream. It's just looked like a cinematic trailer. I don't know what it's going on. I'm a little disappointed in the time period in which it seems to be set, because we always seem to go back to this block of time that we don't explore outside of.
It was hard for me to have an opinion on this because, like, as most of us probably already remember, I've only seen episodes 4, 5, 6, like the OG episodes back in the day. So I've not caught up with any of the Star Wars lore. The Hubs was watching it with me, though, and was, like, picking apart, like, different things that he saw about a timeline. But was making it sound like it was such a long timeline that I guess it could have really been anywhere in between that point.
All right, well, what I saw, like, if they said that this was supposed to take place in the time of the High Republic, which is a new era in which they are starting to explore, I didn't get that. This felt like during the Clone Wars or pre-Clone Wars, because I saw the Trade Federation, I saw...
you said something about seeing Yoda.
Yoda was there.
Yeah.
Just everything about it felt prequel-y to me. And I was like, so how is this High Republic? But again, I don't know anything about the High Republic stuff.
I don't know what they're going for.
So I can't speak to it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So
Yoda can be stupid old, right?
Well, yeah, he was definitely alive during that point in time, because he has stated before he died he was like 900 years old. So
I guess we have a little bit of a time frame. But I mean, kind of excited because I like Quantic Dream games.
Sure.
I don't think it was super clear that it was going to be 100% still in that style. But with them teaming up with Lucasfilms, I'm kind of thinking maybe.
It looked like...
Because In Depth is Detroit Become Human was. Could you imagine now with them like teaming up?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it might still be that kind of game. like a choose your own adventures kind of story based game. But they might have merged in some combat. You never know. Like,
who knows? Planet of Lana. Did you see anything about that?
I remember that. Well, hold on.
It looked beautiful. I don't know what it is, but it's coming out next year, apparently.
Okay.
I don't.
Why am I blanking on that? I watched the whole freaking show.
Again,
I even watched the pre-show.
I don't even know what it was, but there it was, and I was like, all right, well, that's a thing.
I don't even see it on the list that I wrote down, so I guess it didn't catch my eye enough.
So, yeah, there was a thing. Lost Ark from Amazon Gaming. It's a free-to-play action RPG. Cool. Maybe.
I like RPGs.
But what was that game that they put out here recently that doesn't work, that everybody's
New
crashing?
World?
Yeah. Is this supposed to be another one of those?
I don't know. Yeah, they kind of got me a little nervous now. If you're breaking 3090s, I need to take a minute.
Sure.
I think it's fixed now, though, but still.
Huge announcement, which I don't know how excited you were about this. Alan Wake 2.
Yes! Guys. As soon as I heard the voice, I was like, that's Matthew? That's my Matthew Barada, and he's speaking. That was the one I told my hubs he has to play for me, because now that they're going full-on survival horror, I was like, I'm going to be too chicken now, and you're going to have to play it so I can watch the whole story. He's like, okay. So I have a date set to watch it.
Okay. You're already ready to go.
On that. But I love that they said that it's going to tie in how the Control verse and like the Alan Wake verse or whatever, like how it's merged together. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I
That's
do.
awesome.
I thought they did a great game. So I'm excited for that one. I wrote that one down in big caps.
See,
Alan Wake 2.
I'm going to have to play the original so I can, because I played Control and I'm curious how it all, like I don't know anything about Alan Wake.
Fun.
So,
I thought it was a lot of fun. It definitely was a little horror-esque, but third person, I was mostly like using light. So like you always had to go into the light so you wouldn't get attacked or whatever from the monsters and stuff that's in his world, because he was a writer in the first one and kind of talking about this. So yeah, I recommend it because the story was good. And it would kind of, but he said you don't have to enjoy the game, though. At least he did mention that it can be enjoyed on its own. But if you were someone who was following the entire universes for the last 10 years now or longer, then yeah, you might get a little bit more of a treat out of it.
fair enough. Horizon Forbidden West, still looking good. Still on track for February, I'm guessing. They didn't
It's
change
what it looked
anything.
like.
Was it February?
Yeah. I want to say that sounds right. February 2022. I'm away from the mic again.
Because I feel like, I know what it was now that I'm thinking of. I'll let that go. But yeah, it's still looking like it's on track. Still looking good. I'm for it. All for it. Destiny 2, The Witch Queen, meh.
Yeah. I mean, I never played Destiny, but if you have been playing Destiny, then I'm very happy you're getting new content, because I like to see those kinds of things getting updated for people who are into it. So,
Also,
not for me, but congratulations.
Beat Saber DLC, Lady Gaga. Cool.
It's always, I know, I suck. I'm one of those PC people who always downloaded mods, so I'm the horrible person who never bought your DLCs. But I support it.
Yeah.
I support it.
This game looked very interesting. Actually, both of these that I'm going to bring up look pretty interesting. There was one called Slitterhead from Bokeh Game Studio, from the creator of Silent Hill. Looked insane.
Yes, another one I'm not going to be able to handle. But.
Yeah, no. The creature designs or whatever the hell was going on, whoa, this is some nightmare fuel. This is that weird-ass stuff that you're just like, no!
This spider face deal? No.
Nope.
No.
I feel like this is one of those games where you'll have one of those weird, freaky creatures just stare at you from a distance like, I don't want to move because it's going to kill me. But it'll just sit there and just kind of stare at you.
My character will be paralyzed.
And you'll be like, no, I guess I'm living here right in this spot forever.
It's where my character still was with PT. I just put her right back in the corner somewhere, and I was like, this is just...
Nope.
It's where you live now.
The next one I had was called Nightingale from Inflection Games. It looked to be a survival crafting time travel-esque.
There was
thing.
a lot going on here. Yeah. Fantasy, Victorian-esque era is what it felt like too.
But then you go through time and then you can be something not necessarily Victorian.
Right.
Maybe.
And and I think that's like intrigued me about it. Cause like I love RPG-esque games and stuff. It feels like it would be super deep for that. And I dig the coloring. I dig the atmosphere. I'm interested in this one. I'm definitely interested.
It was definitely an interesting concept. That was something I put down, and I was trying to think of a game that it reminded me of in some way. And not to say that it is this game, but I was trying to equate something to where it had that FPS feel. It's still kind of an action RPG, but then you have that building.
Kinda like a MOBA feel.
I was thinking kind of like Fallout 4 was where my head kind of went, because I was like, well, you kind of build your little towns or build, add to them, I guess would be the best way to look at it. And then you have your combat and everything. So whether or not it's like that at all, I could be completely misreading the game, but
because again, a lot of them were just not like fully fleshed out gameplay trailers.
Yeah.
We did get a little, I guess, that maybe could be.
but it
Yeah, there is.
I'm gonna keep my eye on it. How's that?
Yeah, this is definitely what I feel like I want to check out for sure.
What about this big announcement that we got? Not that it was a surprise announcement, but we got to see the Sonic 2 trailer. The Sonic
I
Hedgehog 2.
know. Oh, that was so cute. I'm here for it.
It feels like they were offering up some hefty fan service, but none of it felt forced.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly. Like it was
every
part
bit
of
of
the
it.
story, imagine.
Yeah. Imagine that. It's just, I was like, wow, this is, I'm kind of all in for it. Like, Sonic was a surprise hit
It was
for me.
fun. It was a
You
lot
know.
of fun. Same.
Yeah.
Because I don't usually get into movies like that, but no, it was very well done. And, they took the note for Sonic, right? So that was the only complaint,
Which-
I guess.
Tell me that wasn't,
Appreciated.
tell me that wasn't some
Thank you
great.
for the note about his eyes and teeth. That was terrifying. Thank you. I like Ben Schwartz, though.
Yeah, his whole introduction, and then of course we got Jim Carrey losing his mind. What was he doing? This
I don't
Irish.
know. I finally had to turn off. That's the old Jim Carrey that I never appreciated, you see. I was not Ace Ventura fan of Jim Carrey. I was more like Liar Liar and Later fan. And so when he goes back to it, I'm like,
I don't even remember what he was
too
saying,
much.
but it was just.
I
constant.
don't know. I had to quit paying attention because he was just screaming and putting it up his nose. And I'm like, all right, Jim. All right, Jim. Make words, not noises.
I was enjoying.
But I still think it's going to be fun. And I'm here for the movie.
What about old Knuckles' big, sexy Idris Elba voice?
Though, he does have a great voice. Really does. So I'm definitely here for it. I trust them with it. I mean, outside of, fumbling what he looked like initially, the story was solid. The cast was solid. I thought it was fun. So I think this one will be too. Maybe I'm too hopeful.
I hope so. I find it ironic that of all the video game characters to have a decent movie, it's Sonic, when
Right?
he
Like,
hardly has a
barely a
decent game to
story.
his name,
Well, to us, I mean, you got the Sega fans, that it was a big deal. But yeah, I liked it, but not that much. I remember playing it. I had a Sega, but I don't losing my mind.
In any case,
But hey,
it's ironic.
Pokemon had a good one, right? So here we go.
So, but where's their sequel?
Not
Yeah?
at the Game Awards.
Huh? That's
Yeah.
right. So, what's up, Nintendo? Got to catch up. Anyway, Lord of the Rings Gollum was a thing that we didn't really get to see much more than just, hey, this is a game that's happening. I kind of wanted to see something.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
It just was another cinematic trailer, right? So
Sure.
Kind of giving us another 2022 look, I guess. They're assuming it'll come out then.
What about Somerville? Did you see the trailer for that? that game?
I didn't write it down. I'm sure I did. I watched the whole thing. Maybe I have my list of all the brand new announcements up and not the updated ones. Anyway, continue.
Well,
maybe
this
it'll ring a bell.
kind of seemed like it's from the people who did, there we go. They did Limbo and Inside.
Oh.
And this,
I know those games. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the story is like it's a third-person platform type game. You control a family of 3, father, mother, and a son, as well as a dog, and you're kind of in a post-apocalyptic Earth. You guide characters through ruins of civilizations, avoiding aliens. Again, kind of in the same Limbo and Inside.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at some of the screenshots and stuff. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, it looks interesting. I played... which one did I play? I think I played Limbo. I don't think I played Inside.
See, I think I played Inside. I
So-
want to say that's the one I have. But they share the same universe, right?
Sure.
So, like...
So, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll look into it at some point. I'm for it. Sonic Frontiers. I guess I should have finished Sonic 2 with that one. Holiday 2022. Is it me? Or does this seem like Sonic in open world territory?
Like a little bit, like how I've seen some like the 3D platformers or they're trying to do. So like it'll be interesting to see because I've not yet seen one of those done well.
They haven't
personally.
They didn't explicitly state anything to that effect, or at least maybe there was an interview with someone, and I haven't seen it, but it almost felt like the trailer was implying. It's like, here's this grand world, and you're Sonic, Without saying it, that was the implication.
Fun. You got a speedy character. I feel like let him bounce around in a world. Oh my god, right? Parkour off of everything just for funsies. Yeah, totally.
It'd be a lot of fun. Nightmare Alley. Apparently, I don't remember that much about it because it's slipping my mind, but I got it written down. I don't know.
If you wrote it, then that's on you.
I mean, I wrote it down.
I wrote down my favorites.
Oh yeah. It was a movie. That was a movie. Guillermo del Toro's thing. Kojima.
Yes, they had the whole cutesy little thing to try to make it gaming related. Yeah,
it's like nah, it's not. You just wasted our time. But no. No offense to Del Toro.
No. I mean, it looked like an interesting movie. Yeah, I didn't write it down because it was a movie. But yeah, sure. Thanks.
Sure. And speaking of things that were just like, to Warhammer, War Priest.
Yeah. Like, there was a lot of content for that. But again, very exciting that they keep updating the game or giving you content. But, yeah.
Also, more Warhammer for 40K. I didn't know there was a difference.
There was like 2 announcements, right?
Space Marines 2. Pew pew. Good for you.
Yeah,
I know I sound like a dick, but I got nothing.
They're not too bad a game. I've only ever played one, and they could be fun when you have a group of people to play with and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't follow it closely.
Okay, so there was a game, and from looking at what I wrote down, I feel like I misspelled something because it looks like chai, but I could put a T at the beginning, but that's what I saw apparently. Chai. Anyway, it had very Zelda vibes. Do you remember this game? TCHAI. Okay, and it looked like Zelda, or had some Zelda-esque vibes to it. Yes. And I'm trying to remember seeing the game or what I saw. Chia.
I don't know.
It's chai.
I don't know how to say it, but
Chia would be IA. Chai. Looks fun, you know.
That could be cute. Yeah, that could be definitely cute.
It's an open world-esque adventure. You're climbing. You're playing. You're discovering.
Fun little island play.
Yeah.
A little bird.
And then you got your little music thing. The Zelda vibe. It was kind of like where she was kind of floating on her little thing.
Yeah.
And then
how they float with a leaf.
And then she had a boat, The character designs kind of have one of the Zelda game vibes. Mm-hmm. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean,
I'll
that
fight.
is pretty close. That is pretty close. I'd say it has a little bit more of a claymation feel to it, like as far as the character modeling goes, but I see it. I totally see it.
But I'm not knocking the game for anything. It looks like a lot of fun. If I hear that it's fun, I definitely think this will be something I would get into.
Yeah,
just
so
from what
colorful.
I saw. Sure.
Yeah.
It's not drowned out in muted colors and just drab. Look at us, like we're Warhammer. I'm sorry.
It's cool for this.
Forspoken was a game that they showed.
You know what? Watching the trailer from the last time, I'm a little bit more interested now. I don't know that I was before, but this one, maybe I'll keep an eye on a little closer now.
I said that the gameplay looked solid. The narrative kind of seemed interesting enough. So maybe.
Yeah, it actually got me a little interested, which is what you want, right? When you're showing me these things. So whereas before I was paying attention or looking at it, but now I'm paying attention.
Right.
I think now I'm paying attention to it because that did look pretty fun. I can get into those kind of like combat though. So yeah.
But that
giving that a shot.
Looks like it's coming out May 24th unless something changes, which very well could happen, but we're not going to try to jinx it. I'm just saying, just be prepared.
Just always keep it in your head. Everything could be delayed.
Yeah, every one of these dates that I keep throwing out here, that's what they told me to say.
Right? And so you don't yell at us later.
Don't blame me.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, had a very interesting little intro. Deborah Wilson doing her big... oh God! Don't tell me I forgot the character's name. Hang on. I see her. Come on. Her name is character name. Why am I forgetting it? Amanda Waller. Good God.
Oh, I was like, I wasn't sure who you were trying to discuss.
Jesus.
Yes. Oh, well, they had like a whole thing with her up there too.
Yes.
Like they cast someone and did like a whole theater show that looked to confuse the audience a bit.
Well, I just got confused that I couldn't remember
what they were supposed to be doing.
Her name.
Yes. Anyway,
it looks like a lot of fun, unless something changes that the gameplay is going to be piss poor for whatever reason. They're presenting it like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I get worried because nothing has given me a bad vibe about it. Mm-hmm. But something tells me, just like in a brief moment, we're going to find out what kind of game it is or what kind of... There's going to be something about it that's going to make you go, oh, damn it.
Right.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then you're going to do that? Oh. Mm-hmm. But maybe not. But it looks good.
It does so far, yeah.
There was a Flash comment that's made me laugh, and I can't remember what it was. Something about shooting a bullet at him or something like that.
It's like you should have mailed it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Or something like
would have been faster. Something like that.
Yeah, would have been faster. Yeah, like, really? You're going to try to shoot at me? Yeah, that was cute. It was fun.
So, I'm looking forward to that. I didn't catch a date for that, but...
No, yeah, I think it's just 2022.
For now. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
The one I am looking forward to, and I'm really hoping the release date on this doesn't shift anytime soon because it already shifted once. But Saints Row. I'm so ready for this game.
That was a fun trailer. It was fun. I feel like we did get some more gameplay and stuff interspersed in there too. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good time.
August 23rd is what they're saying. I hope that we stick with that because I'm all for it.
No, it looks like a great time.
Yeah, it looks like a return to form. They're kind of doing a nice mishmash because I never played anything prior to 3, and I heard that 1 and 2 had different vibes to it. Okay. So this game, from what I'm hearing, they're trying to appease both sides of it. We're going to have some of the ridiculousness of 3 and 4, but we're not going to go too crazy, and then kind of have more serious elements like 1 and 2. So find this nice balance so you're pleasing both ends of that party.
Okay.
Which I'm all for. Again, it looks like a lot of fun to me, regardless of which side you're going on. Fall Guys getting some new DLC. Nightmare Before.
Action.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Well, the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. Yeah, the VR stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, kind of cute. I even saw the Among Us in VR, and I was like, I might actually want to play it in VR. I don't know. That could be fun.
Maybe. So,
yeah.
We'll see about that. Dune, Spice Wars. Okay. That's all I got to say about that.
Not for me, but I know people love it, and it was like, especially this new one, like people love the movie, so maybe it's on a new kick.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't?
I
My
didn't
husband
watch
loved
it.
It was really good.
It was one of those. I've heard. That's all I've heard. I've heard it.
Super long.
Yeah.
Super long.
That's why I didn't watch it.
It was really good.
That's why I didn't watch it yet. Because,
that's why I didn't.
because I kept seeing it on HBO Max, and I was like, I can watch this right now. Why am I not watching it? And it was like, oh yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. I'm like, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah,
and people are like,
really,
it's so
really
good. And I'm like, oh great. I'll get to it, and then it just
around,
disappeared. If they'd have waited until Thanksgiving to get rid of it, but they didn't.
True.
Could have watched it around then. Anyway, Tiny Tina's Wonderland looks like fun.
Looks like a Borderlands game. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
Will Arnett and Ashley Birch, that was kind of a nice treat seeing the two of them back and forth. March 25th, if you're into that. Mm-hmm. Like you had also mentioned, Among Us VR.
Yep.
Great. Genshin Impact DLC. Don't know shit about the game, so if you...
I feel like I need to, though. I've been told it's great. I know some people who have started it, and now that I'm seeing with this DLC, I might actually have to go check it out.
Mm-hmm. So
does look like one I could get into.
Consider it. If they give it to me for free or something like that, I might give it a peek. Why not? Steel Rising was June 2022. I wrote maybe, so apparently it didn't catch my eye well enough.
Maybe. I was gonna say, I guess it didn't really for me either, because that one's not sticking out completely on my brain.
There was another game called Metal Hellsinger, which looked like it had a very bitchin' soundtrack, like an FPS type.
Oh, yeah.
But beyond the soundtrack, I was kind of like, it's another one of those, wanting to be doomed.
I might have to check it out, because I thought it would... I like the rhythm-based games, so I could see me getting into it. But my problem would be it also has like that Doom run and gun kind of feel, so I'd probably be really awful. But it seems like an interesting concept,
Maybe.
It's a unique little concept, I think. So I'd be willing to check it out.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it. Like I said, the soundtrack seemed like it'd be pretty cool, but the whole aesthetic was just like, we've done this.
I can't do metal for like super long periods of time, but we could see. I'd be willing to give it a shot. Check it out.
Rocket League Sideswipe could give a damn, but if you like that thing,
like some new DLC for Rocket League.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I did find this one interesting though. I'm not sure that it would necessarily be something like I would jump on, but still. Maybe Google Play Games on PC 2022 sometime then. I know we don't need yet another streaming platform for our games.
Well, it's just gonna come at us from here till eternity, I think, at this point. So
but Google Play Games, I mean, I've gotten my fair share of games on there.
That's true.
So
then the getting to move it to mobile and stuff, like that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then if they're gonna get some more,
like if I saw a deal, because I've seen certain RPGs on there before, and I'm like, oh man, I'd love to play that again. And here's an opportunity because it's right here. But I'm not gonna play this game on my phone. Well,
right.
Now you're offering me to play it on my PC. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Now I'm in. Star Trek Resurgence.
I mean, again, that's like another one kind of up my alley. So yeah. Wasn't that another one from Telltale too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like they had two. I was like, good for them. I was trying to look up. I was trying to see how much of the OG team got to stay on when they, because I know that they were brought back up. But it was nice to see.
I often wonder if, for those who did kind of come back, if they were able to suggest new things to do, or maybe update that damn engine that they were.
Yeah. I mean,
I would hope.
It kind of looks a lot more smooth. I mean, I feel like with these, when you're getting the cinematic trailer, you're basically getting the gameplay because you're just watching a movie making choices, right? So it does look, of course, I don't know how this comment will age well, but me looking at the stills and the video and stuff, it looks like the engine was a little more updated or it was smoother.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't as blocky, chunky looking as I remember, but I thought that was just a style choice to make it look more like a comic cell shading.
Well, speaking of comments that probably won't age well, I have to talk about this other game coming up. And look, I hope I can make my comments understood clearly. I don't want to offend anyone, okay? But I took note of something in this game, and it kind of bugs me a little bit because it just seems to be a common theme. And again, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but just tell me if I'm wrong, okay? So you tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
So there was a game that had my attention up to a point, showing a little animated animations. I don't know what I'm trying to think of. Animated characters, like they're going through fights and whatnot. It's this game called Rumbleverse. It started off like kind of hand-drawn characters, and then they cut to all these weird-looking animated characters throwing down in the streets, and it's like, oh, we're fighting, oh, we're fighting, oh, we're fighting. And okay, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I had a problem with the female character, okay, that they used to promote the hell out of this. Do you want to know why?
I do, yes.
Because she is the epitome of every female character you see in games and in all sorts of media. It's like there is this committee that says, we have to have a strong female character. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to put her in some big clodhopper boots, man. We're going to make her look really tough. And then she's going to have pink short hair because you know what? That's what the women are doing now. It makes her look tough. It makes her look bad. I know that you...
Guilty. No.
But I'm just saying, tell me I'm wrong. Am I mistaken?
I guess it didn't really stick out to me. Maybe it's because I have gotten used to always seeing them come across that way that it just didn't even click in my brain anymore that, something was off. But yeah, they tend to be a little tropey. I was wondering why it looks so much like Fortnite.
Yeah, that too.
I thought at first, I was like, if I wasn't paying good enough attention, I would have thought this was a new season for that.
But again,
yeah, I guess I didn't have that strong of feelings about it. I guess it didn't register as much. Maybe not good or bad, whether I need to retrain my brain. But
I just want to make sure it's abundantly clear. I don't have a problem with the fact that they're using a female character to promote as the big character. It's who she is in the sense of this. Every female character I see in these games now, every time there's a new game with a female character,
these types of games,
it's the same tropey looking girl. She's got the big boots, she's got the short hair, typically pink, and she's always just, there's a look. And it seems to be
wrong.
Every character that's female. It's like, hey, look, we're giving you tough female characters. Isn't that what you look like? No, that's not what every female that I know who's tough and ballsy looks like.
Yeah.
Why do you assume that this is who they are every fucking time?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right, though.
Just saying. If I'm wrong, prove it to me.
And you're talking about in the battle royale fighting type games,
or just in general. I mean, that seems also in certain other media. It's starting to drift over a little bit, but yeah, mainly in games. This seems to tell me that character is not in so many other games. And go through.
Sure, that's what I was trying to pinpoint, a genre that you were seeing maybe more of a connection in, because I wouldn't say I see it all the time, but in a specific genre of type games, then I feel like I see a little bit more where it's more battle-esque or fighter-esque or.
Something tells me I could do some digging and I could pull up
I'm
pictures
sure.
of so many different characters who are all the same. But we'll get into that some other time. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta move on.
Speaking of tough female characters, this is a game I'm looking forward to. A Plague Tale Requiem.
Yes, Yes,
for
yes,
2022.
yes.
Up for that. Can't wait to see where that goes, even though that game...
I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah,
it was the first time they wrote, not they in particular, but like in general, that I found writing with children not annoying.
Mm-hmm. And
they were being used as stupid plot point movers. So I enjoyed it.
And the gameplay was challenging in all the right ways. It wasn't like I remember getting frustrated a time or two, but it wasn't
stupid wagon scene with the arrows.
Yeah, that was,
everyone's having a good day until you remember that portion of the game.
Mm-hmm. I remember, struggling with that. But no,
I loved it. I really liked
it was pretty
the first
solid.
one.
Dying Light 2, we got a CG trailer, even though I feel like we've been talking about this game forever.
And I know this is going to sound so rude, but why is it still a CGI trailer after it's been this long? I know it's been in development hell and they've had to redo a lot. I know it's had some troubles, so maybe I shouldn't poop on it that they've been trying, whatever has been going on internally. But for this long to still see a CG trailer, I was disappointed.
Sure. Really makes you wonder what we're not getting to see. This almost feels like we might be getting another Cyberpunk incident. But
well, I mean, if they just keep it under wraps and not release it until they fix it, then sure. But it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. February. Now, I may have gotten the date wrong. I wrote down February 24th, but it might be the 25th because the 24th is a Thursday.
I don't think there's a day anymore. I feel like it used to always be Tuesdays growing up, but now I see them on Fridays, Mondays, Wednesdays. I feel like there's no consistent day.
So
that could be right.
24th, 25th, maybe. Just kind of in that area is what I saw. I could have done my due diligence and looked it up, but I didn't. I did not have the time. I could probably look it up right now because, this is what Google is for. And I'm sitting here making I'm making excuses. You see what I'm saying? So
yes.
I can just do this
right, though.
Release date February 4th. See? Wow, I was way off. I got the 4 right.
And that's nope.
2-4. That's what I did. I saw a 2. I saw a 4. Son of a bitch.
All right,
so February 4th. Excuse my ass.
I heard 4. That sounded right.
And
suck. Why are we doing news?
Hey, that's still a Friday, so there you go. Crossfire. It's another FPS that I've seen 100 times over. February 10th. If you're looking forward to that. Fortnite Chapter 3. They're promoting the hell out of having Spider-Man and the fact you can swing around.
You know what, though? I've been reading they've nailed Spider-Man and swinging around through and everything that is actually really good. I've heard they've been doing really good on adding those characters. So
you see, this is what's going to make me kind of want to play Fortnite was having Spider-Man. And then the fact you're not just being a skin.
You're swinging.
But you're swinging.
Yeah.
Because I like swinging around as Spidey.
I think we could allow you that moment.
Because I like Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is my favorite.
I heard it actually was implemented really well and nicely. So.
Blood Hunt. Battle Royale with vampires, I guess.
I know people are excited, but I think I'm just over Battle Royale. I never got into it, so I can't get super excited. I like the concept, though. The concept does sound super cool. To get to play vampires instead, that does sound like a way more fun time for Battle Royale than just shooting.
It's whatever. I didn't care. GTFO looked like the same old game that I've seen 100 times over.
This is my problem with games. Like, I totally understand your early access, but I can't get excited for release dates because it's already been like sort of out for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been out for years, but it's going official release.
Right.
So yeah.
Who cares? Halo. There's a series.
Halo that finally got out the door. Oh yes, and the
series. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the series on the Paramount Plus.
I won't see it, but sure.
I mean, look, I got no dog in the race. If I hear that it's an interesting show, I might give it a go, but I don't care.
I don't have Paramount Plus, and it's not a buyer for me, like a make me buy the service. So
no,
I probably won't see it at all. But this, I think I would have to let Halo fans talk on, who knows the story and has played it from day one, because I have not. So I don't feel like I'd be fair. So you all tell us, do we have any siblings that are super major Halo fans? Does it look cool from somebody who is into the series and love it? I would be curious.
Right. Elden Ring. You know, George.
I think we're always just going to be anticipating that game forever.
I guess. Well, I mean, George R. R. Martin needs to finish his damn book series instead of making another.
He said he wasn't, though, right? He say, I'm done. I'm sorry. Like, if you want to finish it off, other people, go ahead and write it.
Well,
I don't know.
Go have that. See, what kind of shit is that? Don't do that to people. Don't do that to people.
He said some of the fan fiction I was writing was better, or I was reading was better. And I was like, all right.
But that's
whatever. I'm thankful, I guess I never got into it, because that's a huge poo-poo to not finish a long book series like that.
Right? Why would you do that?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Okay. Well, to hell with it. He's got another.
It's going to be the most anticipated game of the year probably till the end of time.
It's just like his book series. It's going to take forever to come out. You know, the next one or the thing.
Well, at least we got more to look at this time, so I have a little bit better understanding of what the story is supposed to be. Whereas before we were just kind of got that one statue, and it's like, okay, you kind of know what time frame maybe from that, but
anyway,
kind of left in the dark.
Anyway, coming up on the last few things, Arc Raiders looked like it could be fun, maybe, but I just I'm like you, just kind of like and finally, we got to take a peek at that Matrix Awakenings thing, but I didn't get to play. I didn't play it. It's not like I didn't get to. I could have played that instead of that Lego game. And what did I do? I played the Lego.
It wasn't even that long, so you might kick yourself when you find this out. Like, it took me like 10 minutes, I think, at best. So. Yeah. It's not really a game.
It's an experience. That's what they say.
It's showing off the Unreal 5 engine. There is some interactivity in it, albeit not challenging. Okay, so you know what? Oh, it looks too good. It looks too good. I have to say I was very impressed because they did a little, it was just basically a demo. Keanu was talking, and then would morph him into the young Keanu, and then would morph into Carrie-Anne Moss, and show how easily that all. And then it has like a little chase scene that you'll do a little bit to show off all of that seamlessly. So you shoot a little bit, but there's no like aiming really involved in it, just to kind of show off all that. The way the cars would run into each other, roll over each other. Just the fact all of it was rendered.
Pretty good. Mm-hmm.
It was really good. Like, and finally having a TV and everything that could appreciate it, having the PS5, having a 4K TV, getting to see it, it was very creepy how good it looks. Like, you had to get super close to a character before you could kind of see it wasn't the real deal. I will say, though, I feel like Carrie-Anne's morph in wasn't as well done. Like, I felt like I could tell her right away. I don't know why. Like, her in real life, I feel like her forehead and stuff was way too wide in the experience. Like, as soon as it morphed into her, I was like, her face is slimmer than that. Like, I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You tell me, siblings. Like, hers was the only one where I was like, I don't know about how they rendered her in. I think she looks way better in real life. But the whole concept was a lot of fun. It's Keanu, so of course it was fun. And then after you're done with that little bit, you can just kind of freely walk around the little world that they've built for as long as you want. And then there's a camera mode where you can fly around, and a couple of dev tools. So I guess you can kind of turn them on and off and see what it is like with their nanite technology, or the pixel nanites or whatever they're calling them, and how it would look when you're adding it all in. So yeah, if this is the future engine, it's looking pretty good. I did find a couple of clippings, which I had to search for. The whole point was to like just see the new engine, right? So there was a couple of issues. Maybe it's the lighting. I don't know. Because again, I've never really had the dynamic lighting. But every window I would look through had stuff in it. Like, even I took the camera and kind of like went all the way up a building looking in every apartment or whatever it was. And it was actually a couple of floors before anything even repeated. So like just filling in, and you could see into the windows fairly far off. You don't have to get right up on it, So like the quality is definitely coming together. And if this makes games a lot easier for developers and cuts down on a lot of that kind of stuff, I could see a lot of amazing things coming out because they're not going to have to build all this stuff from scratch.
Sure.
So I was impressed.
Okay.
It's not perfect because like I said, I saw like on the pavement, there was a couple of things fighting each other to try to take the top. So you could see like it was like kind of flickering in and out, and a couple of windows did that too. But outside of that, gorgeous, perfect, looked great, and almost too scary how real it's looking.
All right. Well,
It won't take you long. 10 minutes.
I'll get on it. But now we're at the end. That's all I saw, or all I jotted down of the things that all the 3 hours worth of things that they announced. And then hey, we got 30 minutes of winners because they rushed through so many of these.
They really did. It was like rapid fire. I'm trying to remember. I feel like maybe they always did that. And then the bigger ones, got a little bit more time. But yeah, it was really just like a long announcement for games and then hurrying up with the winners.
All right, so we're kind of reaching our 2 hour mark, so we'll try to get through.
I'm sorry, people. We've got to start.
It's fine.
Making this shorter.
Well, hey, we tried. So we'll try to go through this as quick as possible while still going through our winners and losers. I'm gonna start. I think we didn't talk about a lot of these, but you tell me if we did or not, and then I'll just kind of go through. But starting with Player's Choice. Did we do a Player's Choice option? Did we pick that?
I don't think so.
Okay, well.
Performances, music, narrative. No, I don't see
Okay. Well, Player's Choice was Halo Infinite, which doesn't surprise me.
Right. Yeah,
There
people
was
are excited.
Esports events, which I know we didn't talk about. Esports event was...
Was anyone else nervous when they showed the esport people's names, though? Because one of the words is banned on Twitch.
Oh, no, I didn't.
The simp. When I saw simp come up, I went, oh no, all the Twitch streamers.
Well, that was who won Best Esports Athlete, Simple.
Yeah.
So
but there was simp and simple, I think, wasn't there also?
I don't know.
Either way,
I don't pay attention.
I went, oh no. I guess they're fine. I didn't hear anything on Twitter.
But yeah, Simple won Best Esports Athlete. Best Esports Event was the 2021 League of Legends World Championship.
Okay.
Best Esports Game was League of Legends. Best Esports Team was Natus Vincier. And Best Esports Coach was Kakoma?
Sure.
Kakoma? I don't know. KK.
I didn't write it down.
OMA. I'm not going to worry about it.
I was like, meh.
Most anticipated game, we just talked about it. Elden Ring is that thing.
For the second year in a row or third year in a row? I don't know. Second for sure.
Content creator.
We did not get that one right.
Oh, who did we choose?
Most anticipated game, I chose Starfield, and you chose God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah,
So
I remember saying
correct on most
Ragnarok.
anticipated game.
Okay, well, tell me if I'm going over anything we didn't cover, because I was trying to make sure that I got that. Did we do content creator of the year? Okay, Dream.
I think we both agreed we didn't know enough of them to make much of a difference.
I don't know. But the rest of these, I'm pretty sure we did do. So, again, we'll go through it as quick as we can. I don't want to rush it too much, but I also know that...
No, we're going long. Yeah.
Best indie debut was Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Yes. You chose Artful Escape.
I know.
And I chose Valheim.
Okay.
Yeah, for best debut indie anyway, yes.
And, I really thought Artful Escape would have gotten more than it did, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Multiplayer, It Takes Two.
Yes. Did we do the multiplayer? Hold on, I gotta do it 'cause we're going out of order.
I feel like we would
I had it
have.
written in.
Maybe not.
Oh, we're going out of order of what I had it in. But yes.
Okay.
I don't see that one. Maybe we didn't do multiplayer.
Best sports racing games. Another thing we don't really care too much about.
We didn't do
Forza 5 or Forza Horizon 5.
Which makes sense. It does look good. Does look great.
Best simulation and strategy game.
I know we did this one. Yes. So Age of Empires 4 won. You chose Inscription. Maybe I had this backwards. And then I chose Evil Genius 2, World Domination. So we didn't get that right either.
All right, well, we thought we were trying.
We didn't do great, Stephen.
It's fine. Best family game. It Takes Two won. What did we choose?
Did we do Family Game? I don't
Maybe
think
we
we did
didn't.
Family Game.
My God. I should have
Yeah,
just gotten
maybe I
this
should
list
just
from
read
you.
off what we have.
Anyway, Best fighting game? I know we
No.
did that one.
Best
I'm almost positive we
fighting? We have action and action adventure.
Okay, well, shit. Guilty Gear Strive is what won. Best RPG?
Yes, we did that one.
Tales
So,
of Arise won. What did we choose?
yes, and you and I both went with Scarlet Nexus.
Well, because you were talking
Which
about
it
it.
should
So,
have.
you know,
I
you
think
really.
it should have still out of those, but I got to go check them out. I can't be fair, but I definitely enjoyed Scarlet Nexus. So
Best action adventure game. I'm almost positive I remember what I chose for this, but the winner was Metroid Dread. Well deserved. But
and Steven said Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I put RE Village, Resident Evil Village. I thought maybe.
yeah, I mean, when they said Metroid Dread, I was like, all right, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I was like, you played that. I was like, you probably like that too.
Best action game, Returnal. I couldn't.
We both went with Deathloop on that one.
We did because we thought it was gonna mop the
thought,
floor
yeah.
with everybody this year.
I did too.
It didn't get.
I did too.
I know we'll get to them, but the ones that won, I don't feel like it deserved to win. Like if it had
Well,
won,
I can't be a super fair because I haven't played a lot of them that did. So
I know, but action game. I mean, if it would have won action game, I'd have been like, yeah, sure. Art direction, come on. Which, by the way, art direction was Deathloop. I'm gonna go ahead and bounce to that since I brought it up.
Yeah.
But I know I chose Artful
I put
Escape.
game direction. Is that the same?
No,
Okay. then
because
no, we didn't do art.
game direction Deathloop also won that. So what do we choose for that since we're there?
For best game direction, Deathloop won. I chose It Takes Two, and you chose Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
But for art direction, I know I chose the Artful Escape. I know I would have chosen the Artful Escape.
Sure, fair, yeah, and that's probably what I did in the actual thing. Because I know I went through and voted, even though I know mine doesn't count for that, but still.
Anyway, best VR, AR, Resident Evil 4 VR. I think I'm pretty sure I called that one.
You did. You
Yeah.
won that one. I
Woo!
chose Hitman 3, so
I got one.
you did get one.
Innovation and accessibility. I don't know if we talked about that one.
I don't think we did actually.
Well, that was Horizon or Forza Horizon 5. Good for them. Best community support. Final Fantasy 14 Online. Good for them. Best
Yeah.
mobile game.
Yeah,
This
we
is
didn't
that
do that
game
either.
that we're apparently supposed to play, Genshin Impact.
Yes, I think I should. I feel like I know a lot of people liking it now, digging it. I see it's winning these things. Why not? Looks
not?
like a game I could get into.
Best indie game. Somehow I missed this announcement when it came through. Apparently, maybe this is one of their rapid fire ones that I
Best
missed.
indie game?
Yeah, which to me personally, I don't feel like this should have been something they did rapid fire, but I honestly do not remember them giving this award. But best indie game, Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
I remember it.
I
do.
don't.
Because I remember them going up there and accepting it and everything. So you were right. You did choose Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I chose Inscription because I was seeing so much buzz about it. I thought maybe. But yeah, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I do remember them talking about it.
I must have stepped out of the room
Maybe
or
you had to
something.
go pee or something.
Maybe I don't remember. Best ongoing game, Final Fantasy 14 Online. I think we said Fortnite.
Probably, yeah.
That sounds
No,
about right.
Yeah.
Games for Impact, Life is Strange, True Colors.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on, because we are going in a different order that I had it written. Anticipate debut sim role playing. I know we did it. Games for Impact. Maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows? Best performance. I know
We
that.
did that.
I know who I chose for that, or at least I think I remember. Winner was Maggie Robertson for Lady Demet.
No. Okay. So Dava sent me a phonetic writing.
Okay.
Which makes way more sense now when you put it all together.
Okay.
Lady Domitris.
Demetris.
Domitris. If I'm saying his so like dominatrix, Lady
Ah.
Domitris. Yeah. As soon as I saw that spelled out that way, I was like, ooh, that makes even more sense.
Okay, I got it.
Because he told me not to like hit that ending as hard and like Dami. Anyway, I got that one right.
Okay.
I chose her and I was right in how everyone was just in love with her and well deserved. And you had chosen Giancarlo Esposito.
Which,
Far
I
Cry
mean,
6.
you
Yeah.
can't
Which is
blame me.
another great actor, so you're not wrong. But
2-1. Here we go.
2-1.
Best audio design. Forza Horizon 5 was the winner. What did we choose? I don't
We
remember.
did it. We went music and score.
Well, best
We
music and
voted on that
score. I'm sure I remember what I chose here, but the winner was Nier Replicant.
Yes, and we both went with Artful Escape.
Because it's perfect with the music, but they don't know. I guarantee half the people didn't play that game. Anyway.
I don't know.
Best Narrative. I was really happy to see this. Guardians of the Galaxy won Best Narrative.
Which is what you chose.
Bam!
So congratulations. I went with Life is Strange True Colors.
3.
Yep.
Wow, I got 3 out of...
You
man,
did.
I'm batting 25%. Or something. I don't know.
I'm at like 10.
And then finally, Game of the Year. Talk about a surprise. It Takes Two. What did we pick? Because I know that wasn't what I picked.
I actually chose It Takes Two.
Okay.
And you had chosen Ratchet and Clank, Rift
Yeah.
Apart. So in our votes, you won
By
by
1.
3, and I had 2. So you won by 1. Yep.
Which, hey, that sounds about average of what we normally do. It's usually kind of
I think so.
You know, we're never
like-
good.
No, we're never amazing at it, and I think we try to choose opposite regardless each time, so we can have a winner.
That's
Because,
true.
like, what's fun? If you're not, I know kids having a winner is actually fun. Just letting you know,
Right.
You're allowed to lose. Anyway, but yeah, I was so excited. I literally threw my hands straight up in the air and screamed "Yay!" I was very happy for them. It is a fantastic, lovely game, and his speech was just so heartwarming and touching. Although I won't be grabbing a bunch of children. Sorry, I know you mentioned we should all go grab them because they're hilarious and fun. But outside of that, congratulations, Hazelite.
Yeah.
I was really happy for him.
It was definitely one of the highlights because I really thought when you see, you know, this game get it and this game get it, and you're just like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be this game. Or, oh, here we go again. It's going to be that. When you can telegraph it and you know exactly who's going to win, it's no fun. That was a treat. I am so happy there was a small little indie studio got some recognition. I still feel like The Artful Escape got gypped.
Oh yeah,
But-
I kind of agree. I feel like they should have gotten a little bit more or any love.
The art direction, why not just that one? Why not just that? Because I don't know
True.
what about Deathloop looks more...
Well, I have to play it now, I guess. Well, I
by
probably
comparison,
won't. I was
though.
excited for it until I saw more, and then I was like, I feel like I've played this game, but don't know if I'm being fair.
I don't either. But hey, that was the Game Awards this year.
Gosh, I really had a lot of fun this year with the Game Awards. I have to say, it was fun.
It felt like a E3 event, if you ask me.
Kinda.
But, yeah.
It was definitely way more game announcements, which I appreciate. You know, pomp and circumstance for these award shows have always kind of been like, I'm sure they're very well deserved, but it's not as just entertaining to watch. Just people go up and saying thank you to people I don't know.
Yeah.
Not saying you shouldn't get that moment. I just,
I don't know.
I'm not your friend. I don't know these people.
But yeah,
Well, that's our show, I guess, right?
yeah, siblings, if there was anything from the Game Awards that I missed, we missed, or maybe if you knocked out a 100% guessing game, maybe we ought to do that next time. We'll just put our guesses in an envelope or something.
But how would they know we're being honest?
I don't know. We could do it open.
We'd have to pass it along to
live.
someone for honesty or something.
Anyway, but yeah, if you got any comments you want to bring up about the Game Awards, if you want to ask Dava about the history of the Game Awards, ask Dava a question.
Where was Jeff Keighley born?
Yeah, he could tell you all
How
about
did
it.
he become a gamer? No. But yeah, that's our show. You can hit us up, of course, sometime on Twitter at Super Mega Crash. You can send us an email to supermegacrash@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram to view the weekly icon art Steven puts his time and love into. And you can support the show by liking and leaving reviews on your preferred platform and even going to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. You can tell your friends to find the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network or just search Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And even go to youtube.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. Thank you so much for listening. I am Lacey Finley.
And I'm Stephen White.
And join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then...
Game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.